Hare Krishna, I welcome everyone to Bhakti Vikasa conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Keshav Anand Prabhuji to enlighten us on topic Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 19th chapter, 19th verse onwards. Hare Krishna Keshav Anand Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much Prabhuji for your valuable time and attention this morning. Please take over the call Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Keshavananda Prabhuji.
Sorry. Yeah. Hare Krishna, can you hear me, all of you?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you, Prabhu.
Fine. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Today we're going to discuss Canto 4, Chapter 19, Text 19. And this is, chapter's name is King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices. So I'll just offer obeisances and then we'll read. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 4:19:19 Upasrijye tamastivram Jaharashvam punarharihi Tashala yupataschanno Hiranyarasanam vibhuhu. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. My dear Vidu, Indra, being the king of heaven and very powerful, immediately brought a dense darkness upon the sacrificial arena. Covering the whole scene in this way, he again took away the horse, which was chained with golden shackles near the wooden instrument where the animals were sacrificed. I'll read forward because there's no Prabhupada over there. Atri sandarshayam asha tvarmanam vihayasaha kapala khatavanga dharam viro nainam avadhata. The great sage Atri again pointed out to the son of King Prithu that Indra was fleeing through the sky. Great hero, the son of Prithu, chased him again, but when he saw Indra was carrying in his hand a staff with a skull at the top, was wearing the dress of sannyasi, he still chose not to kill him. Atrinacha oditas tasmai sandadahe vishikam rusha swashvam rupam chatadhitva tasthavantarhita swarat. The great sage Atri again gave directions. Son of King Prithu became very angry and placed an arrow on his bow. Upon seeing this, King Indra immediately abandoned the false dress of sannyasi and giving up the horse, made himself invisible. Virashashvam upadaya pitryagyam yathavrachat tat avadyam hare rupam jagrahar jnana durbalaha. Then the great hero Vijitasva, the son of King Prithu, again took the horse, returned to his father, sacrificial arena. Since that time, certain men with poor fund of knowledge have adopted the dress of false sannyasi. It was King Indra who introduced this. Now here is a purport by Srila Prabhupada. I'm reading this purport. Since time immemorial, the sannyas order has carried 3 danda. Later Shankaracharya introduced Ek Dandi sannyasi. A 3-dandi sannyasi is a Vaishnava sannyasi and an Ek Dandi sannyasi is Mayavad sannyasi. There are many other types of sannyasas who are not approved of Vedic rituals. The type of pseudo sannyas was introduced by Indra when he tried to hide himself from the attack of Vijitasva, the son of King Prithu. There are many different types of sannyas. Some of them go naked, and they carry skull and trident. They are known as Kapalik. All of them are introduced under some meaningless circumstance, and those who are poor fund of knowledge accept the false sannyas and the pretense, although they are not bona fide to spiritual advancement. At the present moment, some missionary institutions, without referring to Vedic rituals, have introduced some sannyasis who engage in sinful activities. The sinful activities forbidden by Shastras are illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, gambling. These so-called sannyasis indulge in all these activities. They eat meat, flesh, fish, eggs, and just about everything. Sometimes drink with the excuse that without alcohol, fish and meat it is impossible to remain in cold countries near the Arctic zone. These sannyasis introduce all these sinful activities in the name of serving the poor. Consequently, the poor animals are cut to pieces and go into the bellies of the sannyasis, as described in following verses, sannyasis are pakhandis. Vedic literature states that a person who puts Narayan on the level of Lordship and Brahma immediately becomes pakhandi, as stated in Puranas. Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahmarudradi Daivata Samatvena Viksheta Sapashandi Bhavetrudam in Kaliyug. And the pakhandis are very prominent. Our Lord Chaitanya first tried to kill all these pakhandis by introducing a Sankirtan movement. Those who take advantage of the Sankirtan movement of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness will be able to save themselves from the influence of these pakhandis. Now, yeah, these are the verses. Oh, okay. I'll just offer obeisance to Prabhupada and then we'll talk. Om Jnana Timirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Gurvani Pracharine Shunyavadi Vasha Deshtarine. So, we're talking about King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices. And here in this 4:19:19, the context is that Indra is stealing King Prithu's horse again and again and again and again. Why is doing that? At least according to the pastime, Indra is envious, has become envious of King Prithu because of King Prithu's great fame and name, and especially this is the 100th Ashwamedh Yajna. Now Prithu has already conducted 99 of them. This is 100, and Indra is glorified as Shatakratu, who does 100 Ashwamedh Yajnas, and now Prithu will also do, and the Prithu will also get the same name, and so on. Indra was envious. So Indra thought to steal the horse, which was to be sacrificed in this yajna. So if there's no horse, there's no sacrifice. If there's no sacrifice, everything goes down. And if in sacrifice King Prithu becomes angry, then also sacrifice is finished, because in such kind of sacrifices, especially you're not supposed to become angry, and especially you're not supposed to kill anyone except the horse. Otherwise sacrifice goes wrong. So Indra, he stole the horse, and he knew that they will not kill me. But nevertheless, because he feared that, and while he's stealing the horse and he's taking the horse somewhere else, except Prithu or the priests, somebody else can come and steal the horse back or kill me. For example, Atri, who was actually Sage Atri, was conducting the sacrifice. He told King Prithu's son to get the horse back, and if necessary, then kill Indra, because Indra was doing an improper act. He was trying to interrupt the sacrifice of King Prithu, which was in fact for the benefit of the entire world. King Prithu was not being sacrificed for his own useless, nonsense, selfish purposes. He was himself a plenary portion of God. So now this verse says, now Indra is trying to actually do many useless tricks. By the way, one of the point is, afterwards in the chapter it will come that Indra and Prithu, they both were great personalities. In fact, after all this halla gulla and all this humdrum, Brahmaji had to come there and settle this dispute. And Brahmaji said one thing: see, the whole point is, Prithu, you are an empowered incarnation of God, and Indra is also empowered incarnation of God. So why you both are fighting? I mean to say, he said, you both are pure devotees in that sense. And he said that sometimes So he actually made this point, and he said, why are you fighting? And he said that sometimes it happens, people become envious. So Indra has become envious. He came to disturb your yajna. But nevertheless, you forgot all these incidents. Then things happened, and Prithu dropped the idea of doing 100th Ashwamedh Yajna. But Brahma said, anyway, you're pure devotee, so you know how to attain God. Sacrifice is not the method to attain God and please Him, because you're devotee and your devotion has already pleased Vishnu. So you can always forego this and stop this. Stop Indra from actually establishing religious principles. This is what is happening here. Indra, when he's stealing the horse, he's taking form of many. He's actually taking form of many sannyasis, different types of dresses of sannyasis, and he's conducting an irreligious act. He's stealing the horse, which a sannyasi should never do. So Brahma says, you should immediately stop the sacrifices, because you have come here to establish religious principles, and by your action, by your 100th Ashwamedh Yajna, Indra is forced to take many dubious or useless forms of sannyasis, which will actually then happen in Kali Yuga. These dresses and these forms, these useless people will take, and they will cheat people, and they will call themselves sannyasis. So that's what Brahma said, and then Prithu stopped the sacrifice to save religious principles. So this is what is something is happening here. Upasrijye tamas tivram. Indra, what he did, Indra actually stole the horse in the form of a sannyasi dress. But then when son of King Prithu, he came to kill Indra, he actually didn't kill him, because he saw that he's in sannyasi dress. A sannyasi, a woman, you cannot kill them. They are avadhya. It is said in scripture. Avadhya means you cannot kill them. A sannyasi, a brahmana, and a woman, a helpless woman, you cannot kill them. A child, you cannot kill them. So it is said, my dear Vidur, upasrijya tamasti trivram jahara ashvam punarhari. So sannyasi created a darkness, jahara ashvam punarhari, created a darkness, and Hari here, Hari means King Indra, by the way, because he's stealing the horse, and that's why he's called Hari here. Anybody who steals something is called Hari. Now here the word Hari is not used as basically as a name, but is used as an adjectival noun, and as an adjectival name. He's called as Hari because he is trying to steal the horse. So what Indra did, he created a darkness and he stole the horse. That's all. Same. Once he stole the horse, and the son of King Prithu, he came after him with bow and arrow to kill him. Indra disappeared, and they took the horse back. Now again he came back and he created a darkness and he took the horse away. That's what he's doing. Jaharascha punarhari. Now that's what modern useless dhongi gurus and sannyasis do. They come, they create darkness of ignorance, they say foolish things, they confuse public, and then they steal their money. They take their money. That's all. Just like Indra stealing the horse. So they're exactly doing what Indra is doing here. And then what happened was, the Atri Sandarshayam Asha, Atri, sage Atri saw this, Tora Manam Vihayasa, and he again said to son of King Prithu, you immediately go and Tora Manam, and quickly son of King Indra, he went behind him. Indra was also running quickly. Kapala Khatvang Dharam. But Indra now took the form of Kapal Khatvang. He took the form of Kapal. And Kapal means skull, and Khatvang means rod. And Viro Nayanam Abhadata. And King Prithu, son of King Prithu saw him. Viro, the hero, son of King Prithu, he saw him. Nayanam Abhadata. And he chose not to kill him. Now the whole point is, these kind of sannyasis were called as Kapal. Kapalikas, they are called as Kapalikas. Prabhupada mentions the purport later. They are called as Kapalikas. And these kind of sannyasis, now they mostly these sannyasis are found in Aghori Sampradayas and Tantric, actually mostly Tantric. Maybe so you'll find more of these sannyasis in Assam, certain areas of Orissa, in Gujarat, where they carry skull and a rod, and they wear black clothes and big earrings, and mostly they stay in cemetery, in Shamshan Ghat. So they were wearing. So Indra took this form, and son of King Prithu saw, and then he saw, well, what to do? What to do? This person looks like a recluse, a vairagi, and he chose not to kill him, because there's injunction in Shastra that he cannot kill renunciates, and he cannot kill recluse people. So he chose not to kill him. And then what happened was, Atri na choidas tasmai. Atri saw this. Sandadadhe vishikam rusha. He became very, very angry, and he again asked son of King Prithu, you go and kill him. Son of King Prithu, he became son of King Prithu, he became confused whether to kill him or not, because this seems to be like a recluse person, an renunciate. How can I kill him? He came back. Atri said, come on, he is Indra. Sandadadehe vishikam rusha. He became very angry. So ashvam rupam tad hitva. King Indra immediately saw son of King Prithu. Now he came to kill him. He immediately abandoned this form. Tastau antar hitaswarat. And he became invisible. Again he became invisible. Now he's doing this again and again. He's taking many forms. He's stealing the horse. He's taking many forms of dresses of false sannyasi. Now by this we can understand that Kapalikas might have been that time also. Tantric Vidya was also that time. But they all might have become, or maybe this kind of dresses of sannyasis, maybe they were not at that time. But this kind of sannyasis are mentioned in they are mentioned in tantric scriptures, but at least externally he also wore a red dress, Indra, before this. Now sannyasis wear red dress, and he wore that, but then he was doing a nonsense thing there. Swatri, he said, come on, they are not sannyasis, they are foolish people. In Kali Yuga, people will wear red dresses. It is mentioned in scriptures, but in Kali Yuga, people will wear these kind of dresses, and they'll be false, they'll be hypocrites. So Indra basically started this, inspired this system of being a hypocrite in a sannyasi dress. Before this incident, people couldn't really imagine that a sannyasi could be a hypocrite, or a thief, or a nonsense person. But Indra started this trend, and Brahma said, well, Indra started this trend, and this trend in Kali Yuga, it will be like on extreme, this kind of trend. Sannyasi being a hypocrite, it will be extreme. So the whole point was, what to do now? Can you just wait a minute? My battery went off. So the whole point was what to do now. That was the whole point. And because things are going out of control. So Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that since that time, actually in the verse it says, since that time certain men with poor fund of knowledge have adopted the dress of a false sannyasi, and it was King Indra who had introduced his system. So it is said that Yadyat Acharati Shreshtas Tattas Eva Sarojana. Before that, nobody had even guts to wear a sannyasi dress and be a hypocrite. Before this incident, people were hypocrites, people were sannyasis, people were sannyasis. But Indra initiated this system, and this system is there in Kali Yuga. This is in Kali Yuga, you can imagine, like in Kali Yuga especially, sannyasis are looked upon as hypocrites. They are not hypocrites, at least by public. It has gone so weird and haywire. If anybody sees anybody in this dress, orange dress, immediately the first thought is he has to be a hypocrite. That's the first thought. No, this is a renunciate. He should be forgotten. He should be he's a uneducated, useless diplomat, hypocrite, a cheater. That's what it has become in this age. And that's why many people they also I mean to say, you see that's the whole problem there. That's a whole problem. Srila Prabhupada says in this purport that all these sannyasis, Indra introduced the system where people have poor fund of knowledge, accept false sannyasis and their pretenses, although they are not bona fide guides in spiritual advancement. Now, sannyasis wearing, drinking alcohol and meat, especially these Kapalikas, they drink alcohol and meat and eat fish. That's why Prabhupada is making this point. Because they're tantric, and they say this is a way to go back to Godhead or get nirvana or whatever. Their whole system is there, and people get confused. People are there with these sannyasis, especially in Bengal, Odisha side. If you see people, these false sannyasis, they are female secretaries and they do illicit sex, and the system is, and in those areas the system is anybody who gets married, they will get blessings from the sannyasi, and to get blessings, the first night the wife has to stay with the sannyasi, and that first night he will do whatever with that female. He will have sex with that female, and then that is how that female is blessed by him, and then she will go and lead a normal married life as a blessed female from that sannyasi. Now this is what is happening. This is how funny things are. This is the system in Bengal. All these false sannyasis and Babajis, and even in Assam, some places. So that's what is Kapalika. Now what's happening? Now people like that, they're all over in this our religious system now. In fact, even in our institution, which is the best institution, Prabhupada says only ISKCON can save this earth from all these things, because ISKCON is having the most pure teachings and the most pure practice. But the whole point is people are not pure, because in any institution, everybody cannot be pure. It's an institution. In a hospital, and there are many sick people, there are many very sick people, there are very, very sick people, and there are people who are corrupt also. There are doctors who are corrupt. So that's how it goes. So people get corrupt, people then cheat, and if in our institution, if we wear this renunciate dress, this orange dress, and if we actually not lead the life of a sannyasi, actually, if a sannyasi doesn't lead the life of a sannyasi, if a brahmachari doesn't lead the life of a brahmachari, then they will be involved in big sinful reactions. That is adharma. It is such a bad thing. If you are a sannyasi and if you are not leading a life of a sannyasi in your heart, and you're trying to actually cheat people, loot them, get their money, especially, and actually lead them away from Lord Vishnu, and confuse them, and then introduce the concept of Brahman is supreme, Shiva is supreme, Shaivite sect or whatever, or maybe. So you see, there are 2 points there. Either you are trying to loot them, just like Indra is trying to loot the horse, or you're trying to confuse them, just like Indra is trying to confuse them by wearing dresses and so on and on, and by creating darkness. So by giving false messages and false instructions which are not according to the parampara. So if a sannyasi does these two things, either he actually takes the money and uses for his selfish purposes. This is said in scriptures. A sannyasi or a brahmachari who's a renunciate, if they use the money which is given in donation for their own selfish purpose, even a single penny, then they will be implicated in actually big sins, and they will have to go to hell for this. It's a big problem. It's actually irreligion, adharma. So there'll be a lot of sinful reactions for that. Extreme, in fact, to the point that Atri, he said, "You kill Indra." You see, the son of King Prithu, he saw that this false sannyasi, has stolen a horse, and he didn't kill him and came back. And then when he went back again, Indra actually left his form, and the son of King Prithu, he could see that this is Indra, and then he disappeared. Atri could also understand that this is King Indra in a false pretense, in a false form, by his divine vision. And Atri said, "Kill him, no problem. Even if it's Indra, kill him." That's all. Although Lord Brahma said later, he will say, "King Indra, you cannot kill him because he's king of heaven. You're doing this sacrifice." Lord Brahma made this argument later, that this sacrifice is to please demigods. And so what the hell you are doing, because the king of demigods is Indra and you're killing him. So why are you doing this sacrifice? In fact, he said King Indra is a powerful incarnation of Lord Vishnu. He's a powerful servant of Lord Vishnu, by the way. So by killing him, Lord Vishnu will be dissatisfied. So Brahma actually made that argument. So the whole point was, Atri said, "Kill him," says Atri. So Brahma was correct in his own position, and Sage Atri was also correct in his own position, because Atri saw that this is the most heinous sin anybody can do. Taking form of a sannyasi and doing this nonsense stuff, stopping the sacrifice, which is meant to please demigods, which is meant to please Vishnu. This is nonsense. The only work of a sannyasi is to protect religious principles, to protect devotion to Vishnu. That's his duty, by his actions, by his words. Sannyasi here, I mean renunciate. But he's not doing that. So he's not following his dharma. He's actually interrupting a sacrifice of King Prithu, which is for the benefit of entire world. So he should be killed. So the point I'm making is, this sannyasi being a hypocrite, a sannyasi who is actually taking money from people and using for selfish purposes, he's cheating them, taking their money, using it for himself, first. And the second is a sannyasi who is trying to keep people in darkness by his teachings, not giving a true message, and actually confusing them. This kind of sannyasi, trying to confuse them and not taking them to Vishnu, both of them. These kind of sannyasi should be killed. That's all. It's a big thing. That's the whole point there. It should be killed according to Sage Atri. According to Sage Atri, these sannyasis should be killed. So now you have all the sannyasis are like that in Kali Yuga. You see, 99% sannyasis are like that. So what to do? The only thing has to be done is the government should kill them. That's all. Hang them. And then the problem can be solved. Because if a sannyasi becomes a hypocrite, it's such a grave sin that the only punishment is death. It's death. Although sannyasi and a Brahman cannot be killed in any condition, but in this condition, he can be killed. And even if a sannyasi is very elevated, but if he starts practicing these kind of cheating practices parmo nirmatsaranam satam there in Bhagavatam says 𝗖𝗄𝗏 𝗪𝗲, practicing this 𝗖𝗄𝗏 𝗪𝗲. These kind of sannyasis have to be immediately killed. So you see the point. The whole point here is, all those scriptures says that sannyasis and brahmanas cannot be killed. Sage 3 is saying you kill them. Now what's happening? Although a guru and a woman, helpless woman, cannot be killed, but Krishna said to Arjuna, kill Bhishma. And the whole point of Arjuna was, you can't kill a guru, it has never been heard in history. I said, okay, no problem, kill him. Or a helpless woman, you cannot kill her. But there are many incidents in Purana where a woman is being killed. So there are some kind of, although there are injunctions for them not being killed, but at the same time, the whole teaching is that if these people who are responsible people of the society, now the first point is why they cannot be killed. Why Brahmana and a sannyasi and a renunciate and a guru cannot be killed? Because they are giving you knowledge. They are supposed to give knowledge. And the whole idea is, it is said in scriptures, it is said in Hari Bhakti Vilas, above humans are demigods, greater than demigods is guru, I mean to say worshipable, because Sarvadev Maya Guru, and above guru is knowledge. Because guru is guru because of knowledge. Brahmana is Brahmana because of knowledge of scriptures. Sannyasi renunciate is a sannyasi because of knowledge of Vedas, which is supposed to distribute. If they don't have knowledge of scriptures, they are useless. They have to be abandoned. They are ordinary people. So they are on the topmost layer of the society, or at least according to Varnashram also. So any action, any word is going to impact the whole society. That's the whole point there. People will follow them. Yeah, there's Acharya Shreshtas. People are going to follow them. A woman should not be killed, a helpless woman, because a woman and a child, because they are to be protected according to religious principles. They should not be killed. They are weak, so they should be protected and not killed. That's what Vedic scripture says. The whole logic to not kill them is very different. But at least in brahmanas and sannyasis and renunciates, this is the point, why not to kill them, because they have knowledge, and their whole life is dedicated to propagation of knowledge of God. And you cannot kill them, because if you're killing them, then you are actually destroying the vessel to propagate the knowledge of God, because you become a brahmana after so much penance and celibacy and so much austerities, and then you become a brahmana. You spend so many years in knowledge, and then take that knowledge. So if a brahmana commits some kind of wrong activity, he's not to be killed. The punishment is not to kill them. There are many other punishments which can be done. You can disgrace him, like in Ashwatthama's case. They actually disgraced him by cutting his hairs and taking off his money. Or you can actually ban him from the kingdom, but you cannot kill him, because killing a brahmana, killing a sannyasi is actually killing God in one sense, because they are representatives of God, and killing them means you are blaspheming God. That's how Vedic system considered as, and at the same time. You are blaspheming Vedas, because why? Because of Vedas they have become Brahmana and sannyasis. So because of Vedas they are Brahmanas and sannyasis, because of Vedas. Otherwise they are ordinary living beings. So because they carry the message of Vedas in their heart, so even if they do some kind of, for example, a Brahmana does an adultery, or a Brahmana kills somebody like Ashwatthama, or a Brahmana cheats somebody, he's not to be killed. So it's never to be done, because it's an instrument to spread the message of God. So he's to be forgiven or some kind of other punishment. And especially he's not to be killed because Brahmanas were rare, sannyasis were very rare, and there is always scope because they have knowledge. They can always purify themselves and actually so rectify their mistakes because they have knowledge. They can rectify their mistakes. So in that sense, you don't kill them. But here something else is happening. Atri said you kill Indra, although he's a sannyasi, but then he's a hypocrite. And the whole point is, in certain circumstances you can kill them. And one of the circumstances, when people are posing as sannyasis and brahmanas. That's a different point. You cannot kill a brahmana and a sannyasi. They're doing a wrong thing. If they're doing some offense, but they are a brahmana and a sannyasi, they are not hypocrites from within. They're not showing themselves as sannyasi. They are sannyasis and brahmanas, but they have done something wrong out of habit, out of their own reflex, out of anger, or whatever. But if they are not brahmana and sannyasis, if they are showing themselves as such, as now, then they are to be killed because they don't have knowledge of Vedas, they don't have knowledge of scriptures, they don't have austerities, they have nothing with them. They're ordinary people, and on the top of it, they are confusing others, and also because of them, the most important point is, genuine people, they are getting also disgraced, and people lose faith in the whole system. Now King Prithu, he came to establish religious principles. He came to establish pure devotion. That was his incarnation for. That's why this. And the whole system, the whole thing of Prithu was not how to bring back a proper kingdom where people are happy, especially, and that can only be done by establishing pure devotion to Lord Vishnu. And how to establish pure devotion of Lord Vishnu? Besides management, he was establishing temples, he was making institutes where Brahmanas and sannyasis were there, who was supposed to give knowledge of pure devotion. And here this guy, he comes and he's directly, he's doing something which is totally in contrary to the whole mission of Prithu. It's not just stealing horses. That's not the whole point there. It's not just taking them sannyasi and becoming a hypocrite. And that's why Atri said you kill him. There were other serious points. Although a hypocrite should be killed instantly, a sannyasi hypocrite, but Atri saw something else. Atri saw this person, he's not only a hypocrite, but because of his action, this particular action, the whole mission of Prithu gets failed. The whole purpose of the sacrifice was to please Vishnu. Purpose of the sacrifice was that Prithu, purpose of Ashwamedh Yajna is to actually claim that I am the supreme ruler of the world, and I have done this and this and this for the world, and I will do the best for the protection of the people. That's what is Ashwamedh Yajna is done for, and everybody should accept me as king, and I will help everybody to protect religious principles. Now that sacrifice is going because of he's doing this, and he's claiming that I've done it. And please accept me as a ruler. Now I will maintain it. But here is a person who is on that very sacrifice, Indra, is destroying religious principles. Now what's happening? He's destroying the whole mission of Prithu. The whole purpose of sacrifice is getting defeated. Right in front of Prithu, Indra is establishing irreligious principle, and he is not only establishing religious principle, but he is taking form of sannyasi and hypocrite, and this shows that Prithu has failed in his mission because he's unable to establish a community of sannyasis and brahmanas who are pure and who can lead the world. The whole point of any religion is education. To give education to people. And Srila Prabhupada also in his manifesto of ISKCON, the first statement he writes, the first manifesto he writes, to give systematic education to people in general at large. He said, because without education you cannot change people. By rules you can manage people, what Prithu did also as a king. But by education you can change people. There's a difference. Only rules without education will lead to suppression and tyranny. And only education without any rules, that's also a problem, because everybody cannot be educated to the same extent. So you need rules to manage common people. But at the same time, you can change the system externally by rules, but internally you have to change system. That can be done by education. And if people are educated by hearing or reading, whatever it is, and they learn the basics of scriptures, dharma, and also devotion, they become pure, they become changed. They become pure, and automatically there is no stealing, there is no hypocrisy, and there's no cheating and giving wrong messages, wrong instructions. And so you don't need much rules. That's all. People follow. People are good. They don't create a mess. So King Vain, he created an anarchy. Everything was in chaos. There was no devotion. King Prithu was supposed to correct it. King Prithu instituted many rules and regulations. But he knew this formula, that you have to change the will of people. And that will be a permanent solution to this anarchy. Otherwise the rules will fail after some time. So he also instituted a group of pure sannyasis and pure brahmanas on whom people can have faith. So at the time of Prithu, people who were wearing this renunciate dress and who were actually gurus, and especially who were on this position of sannyasis, they were very pure. Prithu actually, as a king, he maintained this, and everybody is doing their own dharma, especially these people, and people were getting educated, and they were doing devotion, and things were happy. But here this Indra is doing something bizarre, which they never expected. So Atri saw this. That is actions of Indra is not only destroying religious principles, but it is also destroying the very mission of Prithu as an incarnation. And that's why Atri said, kill him. In both ways he is supposed to be killed. He's not only doing religious principles, he's a hypocrite. He's not a real sannyasi and a brahmana. Just like Krishna, Krishna killed Aristasur in form of a bull. So Gopi says, Gopi said, why did he kill a bull? Krishna said, well, he's not a bull, he's a demon. He took a form of a bull, so there is no sin. So in one sense, Atri was right that you kill him. He was a cheater, hypocrite. And in another sense, he was very right, because he said, well, more importantly, he is actually attacking on the very foundation of this sacrifice, the very foundation of the mission of the incarnation of Lord Prithu, and so kill him, that's all. He is actually working against the welfare of the entire humanity. He is an atatai. You see the point? Prabhupada says atatai has to be killed immediately. No matter even if he's your guru. That's why Krishna says kill Bhishma. He's an atatai. He's supporting atatais, at least. So kill him. Atatais means people who try to kill you, or who cheat you, who robs your wife, puts your house on fire, and that. And the most important is destroy your house. So destroy your house means here is destroying Prithu's. Prithu made a house where everybody could live peacefully. The entire world, he made a house of devotion and dharma. But here this guy is trying to destroy it. destroy the foundation. So he said, kill him. That's all. So you see the point. First thing is that, so this is the first point then. The first point by this whole incident is, at least for us to take up a point is, the first point is we should not become cheaters and hypocrites as a devotees. As a devotees, you're not. If you're a devotee, we are devotee. If you're not a devotee, then okay, fine. If you want to use money for your selfish purposes, because money comes because of preaching, and if you use for yourself for a political thing, or if you're not following through regulated principles properly, and if you're posing as a great devotee but you're not following anything and you don't want to even follow it, of course you cannot follow it. That's another thing. When you're trying to follow it, but you don't want to follow, and you are showing yourself to a devotee, and then you're collecting donations on the name of your prestige or your status, and then so that is very bad. The whole punishment for that is, and that's happening. I mean to say, big leaders also, and big people, preachers who come in different areas. They come, they collect donations because they are senior devotees, and then they use their donations for themselves, and it becomes a mess. We have seen many times. So we should not fall into all this trap. Somebody gives money, use each penny for Krishna and for the welfare of people. Use it. Don't use money to create conflicts. That's the whole point. And try to actually follow spiritual principles as perfectly as possible. Don't try to destroy spiritual principles and be on a high position. I'm a leader. I'm a Bhakti Vikasa leader, for example, for congregation. And you're leading so many people, so people are expecting you to be pure and faithful. But here you are, you're not pure. You're doing all nonsense things. I mean to say, if somebody is doing like that, and we are leading so many people, so we are actually destroying their faith. We're cheating with their faith. We are cheating. That's cheating, and that is a very grave punishment. If that continues, it's a very big punishment. The punishment can go up to killing. You are supposed to be killed by laws of karma, and that will happen. Some unforeseen reactions, big reactions. So, by Indra, we at least learn this. If we are devotees, not just sannyasi dress, the whole idea is, if you are externally dressed as a devotee, as a representative of Vishnu, that's the whole point there. Sannyasi is a representative of Vishnu. If you're dressing like that as a representative of Vishnu, if you're preaching like that, then you have to be like that. Otherwise, you're a hypocrite and you're supposed to be killed. That's all. Either people will kill you or Krishna will kill you. That's all. He will make arrangement, because then we're hypocrites. That's it. First thing is that. Second thing is, as a devotee, we should not give wrong messages. We should not confuse people. We should not create darkness in their minds. We should repeat the message as it is. But Indra is doing that. Otherwise, it's a big punishment, because that if we are changing instructions, we are changing the message, then the person is supposed to be killed. That's a punishment, because he is changing the very thing what made him. A devotee is a devotee. A sannyasi is a sannyasi because of Vedas, because of the scriptures. Scriptures are their mother, and now he's trying to destroy his mother by changing the message. That's what it amounts to. He's killing his mother. This kind of person should be killed immediately. That's all. So you see the point. It might seem a very small point while changing the message. Okay, let me speak anything from my mind and try to bring people, as it is happening in our institution also. Many people are speaking useless stories, nonsense stuff from here and there, their own experiences. You can speak sometimes your own experience, but nonsense stuff and jokes and what's this? Repeat scriptures. Give examples from scriptures. Why do you want to give examples from your own life? There are enough examples from scriptures. Srila Prabhupada gave examples always from Srimad Bhagavatam. That will have impact. And don't change the message. If the message is surrender to Krishna, say surrender to God, Krishna. That's all, finish. We are not supposed to say surrender to the Almighty, surrender to light, or surrender to love. Why? Surrender to Krishna. Simple. So that's what Prabhupada is mentioning. In Kali Yuga, many sannyasis will come out. They will be dressed as devotees, or they will be representatives of Vishnu. Well, they will delete Vishnu. They will be speaking all kind of jugglery words and create a darkness in their mind and then cheat them. So it's a very great punishment to do this. You're supposed to be killed for that. That's the whole punishment there. That's the second point. Don't change the message. Even if people don't like, don't change the message. You can present it in a nice way, but the message is a message. That's all. As a representative of Vishnu, to speak what he or his representative spoke, regardless of whether people like or not like, and that will actually create a revolution. That will change people. So Indra is actually destroying both these principles, which makes a sannyasi, a devotee, a representative of Vishnu, a representative of Vishnu. A representative of Vishnu is representative of Vishnu. Why? Because he gives the same message, regardless of time, place, circumstance, regardless of his audience, whether they will like or not, they were pleased or not. No, that's not the whole point. And the second point which makes sannyasi or brahmachari is his character. And that also Indra finished it. Indra is a hypocrite here. He acted like a hypocrite. So at least these 2 points have to be kept in mind. Our character should be pure. At least we should try to keep a character pure. And the next thing is this teachings. And by the way, any institution where these two things go down, everything spoils. Just like Indra, a whole sacrifice was being spoiled just by this act. So and any institution which can maintain these two things. Hare Krishna, somebody is unmuted. Please unmute it. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Mataji, can you please ask them to mute the phone? I don't know. It's crazy. Okay. So the whole point is any institution which can maintain these two things, that institution will represent Vishnu. It's not just person, it's also institution. And that institution will be pure. Otherwise that institution should be destroyed. And just close that. Just destroy it. Any institution which doesn't follow these two principles, it's corrupted. And it's supposed to be destroyed and finished. Otherwise it will create a havoc and it will confuse people, destroy people. And it will destroy the mission of Prithu. The whole mission to bring back peace in the entire world. If any institution, spiritual institution, which doesn't follow these two principles, it will be destroyed. It is supposed to be destroyed, and it will get destroyed itself after some time. And it will also destroy people. It will confuse people. So two things have to be maintained. This thing, don't confuse people by our message. Keep the message as it is, and that will have its own impact. And the second thing is, keep your character pure and help people to keep their character pure. Give them proper knowledge, teach them to remain pure, and that will go over a long way. And that's why otherwise we will suffer and others will suffer who are with us. And the third point is Indra is what we learn from this whole illness is Indra is trying to actually disturb the peace of entire world. it seems that he's just disturbing the sacrifice, but that's not the whole point. Atri could see his action is not just disturbing the sacrifice. His small action will have grave consequences. And it's going to set a wrong example. And people are going to become hypocrites. Because Indra, he did that. He actually floated this idea. And if he would have been successful at this point, people would have got courage to do this, because you see, Prithu was there, everybody is there, and he did it. So his action is going to disturb the entire world, and this kind of person has to be killed. So the third point is, what we can probably understand from here is, none of our actions should actually destroy the peace of the entire world. I mean to say, we should not do any action which will actually lead either immediate or long-term consequences, lead people away from God, lead public away from God. We are responsible for all actions, even minor and major. Every of our action is being noted. A sannyasi, it is said, and a devotee, a representative of Vishnu, it is said, he is never unseen. All the demigods, they are seeing him. Everybody is noting what he is doing, because he is a representative of Vishnu on earth. We as devotees of ISKCON, we are representatives of Krishna, and all actions will be noted and recorded and then rewarded or punished. Whatever, we are very responsible. We have big responsibility on this planet Earth. People see us as actually representatives of Vishnu, and whatever we do, that direct impact will go on Krishna. If we do wrong things, people will say Krishna is bad. If we do pure devotion, then people will say yes, okay, their master is good. Whatever servant does, the impact goes to the master, isn't it? That's the whole point. The impact goes to the master immediately. So for example, one of the Alvar, I think it was Purandar Das or somebody, he went to Tirupati and he sang a song. He said, my dear Lord Krishna, you are because of me. You are because of me. Because I can make you, I can destroy you. Because what I preach, that people will accept. If today I say Krishna is not God, Shiva is, people will accept, because I am a devotee. And if I say Krishna is God, they will accept you and they will worship you. So because of devotees, you are famous in this world and people worship you. So devotees make you, devotees destroy you. So Purandara said, better be careful, Krishna, and give me darshan so that I can serve you and I can praise you. Otherwise I'll go down Tirupati and I will destroy you. I will start preaching anti against you. As what had happened, Purandara did that. So we are representatives. We have a big responsibility on this. The whole point we learn from this incident. The third point is, Atri saw that representatives of Vishnu, they are not just responsible for themselves, but they're responsible for the whole world, and also their whole responsibility goes up to Krishna. They can't do anything wrong because it will insult God. Our wrong actions will insult Krishna. And that kind of heavy responsibility we have on this planet. So our character should be pure. Our actions should be proper. Our intentions should be for the benefit of the entire world. Everything should be perfect as much as possible. Everything should be pure and sublime as much as possible. Because we are not leading lives for ourselves. That's the whole point. A sannyasi, if Indra would have taken the form of a Chandal or somebody, then Atri would not have said kill him. But this is a great thing. Sannyasi should not live, a devotee should not live life for himself. He is living his life for God. And it's a heavy, heavy responsibility. I mean to say, just like a prime minister who goes to another country, he's representing his entire country. His any word will be taken as a word of the entire country. So many millions of people. His every word is a voice of people. Similarly, our every word is a voice of God. And people will judge Krishna by seeing us. what kind of master he is. That's the whole point. This is the third point. And Atri saw this. So Atri said, immediately kill him. Immediately kill him. Because this will give such a wrong message to people, and then people will lose faith in all sannyasis and all brahmanas. It's not just a question of Indra, but it's a question of entire what do we say, the entire entourage of the entire ashrama of sannyasis and brahmanas. Entire ashrama gets blamed, and people lose faith, and then it's almost impossible to bring back anarchy. What Prithvi is trying to do, it just collapses, because nobody will have faith on sannyasis and brahmanas. Nobody will accept their knowledge. They will have doubts, and then it will be again chaos. People will lose faith in Vedas. So at least, so it will be worse than King Vain, because King Vain he used force to stop sacrifices and stop Vedic instructions. And that's why he was killed. But here Indra is not using force to stop sacrifices. He's doing something which is even worse than force. He's setting an example. He's actually playing with the will of people, playing with the faith of people. King Vain, at least he used force. People had faith, but he used force. You're not supposed to do sacrifice, even if you have faith. So there were chances. So King Vain died, and because people had faith, their faith was not destroyed. King Prithu could manage to bring back the society from anarchy, from chaos to a proper peaceful situation. But if faith gets destroyed, then it's almost impossible to bring back peace, and because people have now become corrupt, they lose faith in everything. So no matter how many rules you make, people are not going to follow anything. People are not going to get corrected, because they're not going to get an education. So you can't force people to learn. You can't do that. You cannot force them, but they will never learn, because they don't have faith on these useless bogus sannyasis and gurus and devotees who actually don't have any character. You can't learn without faith. That's the whole point. And so it was much worse than King Vain what Indra is doing. And Atri said, immediately kill him. He's worse than King Vain. So that's the whole point. The third instruction we can take away from this whole incident says, don't do devotion for yourself only. The whole point is not our life. Our devotion is not for our life only. Our devotion is for the entire world. We have to become pure to actually help entire world, and we have to become pure so that our God, our Krishna, is not disgraced because of me. Or just leave devotion. That's all. At least that will be your service to God. If you find you are such nonsense person because of previous lives, and you can't correct yourself, and you're doing such nonsense things, if by chance you find, and you're out of control, and you're doing nonsense things again and again and again, then one of the things is just leave devotion. At least you will not be a black spot on Krishna's fame, and people will not lose faith on other devotees because of you. That can be one kind of service. You see the point? I'm just thinking. I'm not proposing that. I'm just thinking that that can be done. A devotee can think, if he finds he is a irreparable case and it's complete nonsense, and by reflex he's having very bad reflexes, he can't correct himself, he's useless character, and he by reflex he kills people, he's out of control, he blasphemes everybody, he abuses everybody, he can't control his words and whatever. And the best thing is, okay, then either leave devotion so that people will not blame Krishna, or if you do devotion, don't show anybody that you're a devotee. Do something in your mind or something. But at least Krishna will not be blasphemed, or Krishna will not be disreputed. The whole point is we are doing kirtanam, isn't it? Kirtanam means to glorify God. And if actions doesn't glorify Him, rather brings His reputation down, then that's not kirtanam. You see, the whole point of Kirtanam is not just chanting. The whole point of Kirtanam is to glorify Krishna by your karmana manasa giring, by your actions, by your words, and by your thoughts, isn't it? So then you're not doing Kirtanam. So the whole point is we don't do devotion only for ourselves. That is a very selfish proposal. We're doing devotion not just for ourselves, but also to help the entire world. We are becoming pure to help the entire world, to spread this purity. We are becoming pure, and we are doing devotion to actually so that our Krishna is not disrespected. People praise him. Yes, this is a devotee. Okay, who is his master? His master is Krishna. Okay, yes, Krishna is nice. That's the whole point there. At least we should try. At least we should have this kind of conception. The third takeaway point is this: Atri could understand this. It's a grave consequence of not actually being pure in character and giving a true message. And the fourth point from this whole incident is, you see the whole point, Atri could think on various levels of dharma. I mean to say, you see, so you see there is a verse in Mahabharata, that dharma se nihitam, that the codes of dharma are very difficult to understand. Gohayam Mahajano Enagata Sapanta, that's the whole verse. That the codes of dharma, it's very difficult to understand dharma. Dharma is very deep. Dharma can only be understood by understanding the actions of sadhus. So it was very difficult for son of King Prithu to decide whether to kill this sannyasi or not. Although this sannyasi, although Indra took the form of a sannyasi, son of King Prithu, he could understand this, at least in the first, when in the stroll on the first time, he was confused. But the next time he was pretty much in doubt whether he's the same Indra coming back. But he didn't kill him because at least he respected sannyasi. You see at that time, such kind of respect should have been there for sannyasi, that even a person who is dressed in that dress, and that person is doing such a useless activity, he's stealing the horse of a king first, he's stealing the horse of a devotee second, he's trying to stop a big sacrifice which is conducted for the benefit of the entire world third. Now what do you do with such kind of person? Automatically you should kill him on the spot. But simply because he was wearing the dress of a sannyasi, son of King Prithu, he hesitated. So this shows how much respect should have been there for that ashram at that time. And why that respect would have been there? Because respect doesn't come in one day, isn't it? So people might have been following, all sannyasis, they might have been following the teachings properly and perfectly. And they should have been very pure, that people respected them like anything, even kings. So he hesitated to kill him. But at the same time, and even religious principles, they say that a sannyasi and a brahman should not be killed. But then Atri, he saw higher religious principle. He could understand what to do. He saw, well, first of all, they're not the hypocrites, even if they're in the dress of a sannyasi. And the second of all is, they're representatives of Vishnu, and they're trying to destroy Vishnu. What the hell is this? They're trying to destroy the sacrifice which is meant for Vishnu. This is a demon. This is not just a hypocrite. So Atri saw, okay, he's a hypocrite. First, he should be killed. He's not a sannyasi which is doing something wrong. He's not at all a sannyasi and doing wrong things. He's dressed like a sannyasi, that's all. He's a hypocrite. And the second is, he's a demon. He's acting like a demon. He's going against Vishnu. Immediately he should be killed. So he saw higher principles of religion. The son of King Prithu, he was seeing lower principles of religion. Lower principle of religion says any brahmana should not be killed, even though even though he's corrupt. If he's dressed like that, he should not be killed. But Atri saw higher principle. He's dressed, but inside he's hypocrite, and he's not at all sannyasi. And he saw even much higher principle, that he is actually
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we cannot hear you.
that we have to see the consequences of an action. The consequences of an action has to be understood, and by that we decide what to do, what not to do, not just by the action itself. Then you will not be able to decide properly. You have to see the consequences, and then you have to see where higher principles of religion also. And if you cannot understand anything, then just see what devotees did in that situation. Mahajanoyena gata sapantha, and that is where we read pastimes of devotees, what they did in such kind of situations, and that's why we read Puranas and Mahabharata, because Mahabharata is full of so many complex situations in lives. So what we are supposed to do, and it's bad. Krishna says karmana ghanumati. Krishna says it's even most wise people, they cannot understand. So what to do? Mahajanoyena gata sapantha. You will go into history. So, and that is why these pastimes are told to us. The instructions are given in form of pastimes. Okay, Atri did this. So by seeing Atri in this situation, we can follow him. If we fall in
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, your voice is breaking in between.
Oh, now it's okay.
Yes, Prabhu, now it's okay.
So in these kind of situations, what to do with such hypocrite people? You can kill them. Atri said that. He did that. So by seeing these incidences, we can take proper decisions. Of course, legally you cannot kill people, but then you can take very severe action. You can take that. You can kill them by actually defaming them. That you can do. So that's what Prabhupada says. That's what Prabhupada said. Speak against these bogus sannyasis and gurus and these hypocrites in form of sannyasis. Speak against them because defaming them is killing them. So we kill them like that. That's all. Then people will not accept what they are saying. People will not respect them. People will respect true sannyasis. So yeah. So whenever you have a confusion, you have to see what sadhus are doing. That's how we understand dharma. That's another teaching we get from this whole pastime. But for that, you have to read what different sadhus are doing. You have to read the pastimes of Mahajanas. You have to read Bhagavatam properly, and if you can read Mahabharata, that's very nice. So you see many facets of life, what people are doing, and you try to do the same thing, and that's it. Finished. Things will solve. Otherwise, the whole point is it's very difficult to decide what to do, what not to do. And especially at this point, I mean to say, you see the point, Atri said you kill Indra, but then Brahma came and stopped the sacrifice.
Prabhuji, again we cannot hear you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, are you there on the call? I think Prabhuji has dropped out. Lalitangi Mataji, are you there on the call?
Yeah, yes, Mataji. I'll connect him, try to.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Now we can hear you, Prabhu.
Yeah, fine. I don't know, something happened. Okay, fine. So, so till what time did you hear? I'm lost. What happened? What I was speaking? Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, can you tell me what point was going on? Hello, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhu.
Yeah. So what point was going on? Can you tell me?
Yeah, just give me a second. Yeah, you were telling about that Ati wants to kill, don't kill. You were talking about that. And Indra wants to stop the Aswamedha Yajna, like that you were talking.
Oh no. So I was talking that the different levels of religious principles, isn't it? So it's very difficult to decide what exactly to do or not. So we have to follow the lives. I was saying that.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So the whole point was, I was making a point that but then Atri said you kill him, but then Brahma came and he said, well, you make friends with Indra, and you forget doing this 100 sacrifice, and then Indra is a king, and then he's not only king, he's a king of demigods, and he's not only demigod, but he's a plenary portion of Vishnu. So you can't do this, it's wrong. According to Brahma, that's wrong. According to Atri, is right. No, again, what to do? So you see the point, it's so difficult to decide what is correct and what is right. So in that context, what to do? So the whole point was how to decide, and what Brahma is saying something, Atri is saying something. Who is correct? Well, both of them could have been correct, because at that point of time Atri was correct, but then afterwards Brahma came and he said, well, you're not supposed to kill. So then there's a conflict between Atri and Brahma. So that's the whole point. It's so difficult to decide what is correct and what is wrong. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
No, but my voice is coming on the call now.
Yeah, it's coming, Prabhuji. Now it's coming.
Yeah, I don't know. She's calling me. Okay, fine. So the whole point was, you see the point again. There's a problem now. Whom to follow, Brahma or Atri, in this context? So what to do? Again, in Bhagavatam, if you read, Brahma is trying to reconcile, Atri is trying to kill. But then both of them are correct, because Atri is trying to. Atri could have said to Prithu, stop this sacrifice. The same thing what Brahma said. But Atri didn't say that. He asked them to kill Indra. And Brahma said no. So again, there's a confusion now. What to do, what not to do. So that's why Krishna said it's so difficult to decide in this material world what to do, what not to do, because dharma is the way dharma works is very difficult. So ultimately, if we are pure, the whole point is, if we are pure, it doesn't come only by logic. If we are pure, then we will be able to take proper decisions, as Prithu was taking proper decisions. He was incarnation of God. The whole point of purity is, Srila Prabhupada says in one of his letters, Prabhupada says, in Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada says, if you always think to benefit the entire world, and if you don't think about yourself, and you just think how to help people, then Krishna will make you super intelligent. And then you will be able to decide what exactly to do. So here, even if you read Bhagavatam, it's very difficult to decide what to do, whether to kill Indra or not kill Indra. Brahma is saying, don't kill. Afterwards it will come. And he tried to reconcile, but Atri is saying, kill him. So again, you are in a problem. So how to decide? Then at that time, if you are pure, now both decisions are correct. But what decision should be taken if we land into same situation? And that will be decided if you are pure. If you're pure means if you're doing devotion to benefit and help others and benefit the entire world and promote the mission of God. And if you're doing devotion just for that, Srila Prabhupada says, forget yourself. That's all. Then Krishna will make you super intelligent. He will give you necessary wisdom to take proper decisions, and in the process we'll also be benefited. That's how it goes. So this is a whole point there. That's all these points we can learn from this whole pastime of Indra stealing the horse for oneself and for others. This is how we understand. Okay, so I'll just stop here. Any questions, any answers, or any comments anyone wants to ask? I'm finished now.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the beautiful class. Is there anybody having any questions for Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very beautiful class. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
No, you're asking me. Yeah, Mataji, you can ask me, Lalita Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So it's a very, very nice class with so many instructions for oneself and for the society as well. So, Prabhuji, my question is, Indra, we know that Indra is doing this mistake, and of course he's a devotee. But I was wondering why Krishna is telling Prithu to give up doing one more sacrifice instead of telling Indra to not do this again.
Oh, okay. This is a good question. Why they stopped Prithu? Isn't it? That's the question. Now the whole point was that Brahma came and he said, okay, stop this last sacrifice. Now the whole point which Bhagavatam says is, well, you stop the sacrifice because first of all, if you keep on doing sacrifice, Indra will not allow you to do the sacrifice. He will devise many other wrong means to steal the horse, and whatever he does, that will have direct impact on the society. People will imitate him and will create more irreligious principles. He will not allow you to do it. So he said, better stop it. And he is very powerful. He can do anything. So that was one reason. But of course, I mean to say, as you said, they could have also asked Indra to actually stop doing all this mischief, so that Prithu can finish his sacrifice. But the whole point was there that if Prithu would have conducted hundreds Ashwamedh Yagyas, Vedas would become wrong. Because according to Vedas, the name of Indra is Shatakratu. He is glorified as Shatakratu in Vedas. And Vedas are eternal. An eternal message cannot be wrong. And now if Prithu does 100 Ashwamedh Yagya, he becomes Shatakratu. So there are two Shatakratus. And Vedas is absolutely clear. Only Indra is Shatakratu. A living entity is in the post of Indra. He is Shatakratu. There is no Shatakratu there. So then Vedas become wrong. So to save the Vedic knowledge, to actually not allow people to blaspheme Vedic knowledge, and actually to make Vedas as eternal truth, as a service to Vedas, as a service to religion, religious principles, they did this action. They stopped Prithu. They said, "You forget it. Come on." So to stop Prithu was not service. Was not actually favoring Prithu, by the way. To stop Prithu was not actually favoring Indra. Or to not stop Prithu was not actually favoring Prithu. That was not the question. Prithu and Indra was not the question here. The decision what Brahma took by keeping the Vedic scriptures in sight, that Vedas should not be contradicted in any condition. All injunctions of Vedas have to be maintained as it is. For demigods especially, that's a very, very, very serious business. No injunctions of Vedas can go wrong. They can go to any extent to protect Vedas. Like kings could go to any extent to protect dharma, even to kill their own sons. So that was a whole question and point. So Brahma said, forget it, Prithu, don't do it, because then it will defy Vedic knowledge. And that's what it happened. Is it clear?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, like one Ashwamedha Yajna could have been sufficient, right, Prabhu, by King Prithu. Like, why he has to do 100, Prabhu? One could have been established him as a ruler, right, Prabhu?
Why he has to do 100?
Yeah.
So why he has to do 100? That's what you're asking, no?
Prabhuji, one could have established him as the ruler, right, Prabhuji? Yes, Prabhu.
No. Actually, you see the point. One Ashwamedha Yajna could have established him as a ruler of the entire world, but then why he was doing 100? That's the whole question. So he was doing 100 because he read in Vedas that 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas pleases Vishnu the most. And that's the whole point. He was not doing Ashwamedha Yajnas. The very fact he was doing 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas shows that he was not doing yajna to actually become to actually announce that he's a king of the entire world. He was not interested in that, although it was required. He was more interested to please Vishnu. So he said, okay, well, one Ashwamedha Yajna will actually make me the unconquerable supreme ruler of this world. But well, if we are doing one, let's do 100 because my whole aim is to please Vishnu. Let's please Vishnu. That's more interesting. So that's why he was interested to do 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas. But then he couldn't really realize this fact that Indra's name is Shatakratu, and Vedas glorify Indra as Shatakratu, and his 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas would actually defy that injunction of Vedic knowledge, and he will also become Shatakratu, and that will be a complex situation. So the eternality of Vedas will get destroyed. That Vedas are eternal truth. That will hamper. Probably he couldn't think about that fact, or he overlooked that fact. But he was very excited to know through Vedas. Vedas are very clear. 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas pleases Vishnu the most. So he was interested to do that because he was a devotee. And by the fact that he is doing 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas, we can understand that the intention to do Ashwamedha Yajnas was not just to become king, but actually to please Vishnu. He wanted to please his Lord Vishnu. Is it okay?
Yeah, thanks. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhuji, you were mentioning in this class that nobody should be killed during the yajna process except the horse. So no.
Actually, nobody should be killed on the very spot.
Okay.
But when Indra steals a horse, the horse is stolen now. Now the horse no longer belongs to Ashwamedha Yajnas, and then when he goes in the outer space, then you can go and kill him. But on that spot, on that sacrificial area, that should not be done.
Okay, Prabhu. Got it, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji, one more question, Prabhu. Like the word sacrifice is used, right, for the horse, and the horse will be killed, right?
Yeah.
Like here, for when we say sacrifice, the horse will be given, a different life, right?
Right. Yeah.
But
of course.
How do we like physically understand that point, Prabhu? Like, do we have any example where, like, such a sacrifice next life, this animal was given,
Oh, come on. There are so many examples in Puranas. Padma Puran, Varaha Puran, they're full of these examples. Full. If you read those Puranas, you'll come to know.
Prabhuji, can you give one example, Prabhu, if you don't mind?
Well, I don't really remember stories, You see, I'm very poor at stories. You know me. So, but if you read Puranas, there's so many, some horses sacrificed, and then immediately becomes demigod in the higher planetary systems, or some other animal is sacrificed, and so immediately that animal is liberated. There's so many examples. I don't really remember any example from Bhagavatam. I don't remember any example. Bhagavatam, I don't know from whether Bhagavatam speaks about such example. But other Puranas I have read many in and you can research it, will come. But sorry, I forgot. I can't know stories. It just registered in my mind. But that is sure there are many examples.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. No problem. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Okay, so
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the beautiful class. Is there anybody having any more questions, Prabhuji?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for lecturing class. Very bold and Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, if there are no more questions for Prabhuji, we would like to end the call here by offering obeisances to the Prabhuji and all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripasindhubhyo bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnav ki jai, Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace Keshav Anand Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.